Yarr! Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap. My name is Pixel Riffs, our writer is LoyXP, and this week sees the Hermits held fast in the grip of minigame mania. Some of them, of course, are the architects of these carnival wonders, and others can quit buying gold shovels anytime, they just don't want to right now. The Venn diagram of these two is closer than you think. So before Treasure Island becomes a Swiss cheese of hastily dug pitfalls and some very confused turtles, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with Mumbo, who despite being filthy rich, decides not to buy dirt, even though it is, by definition, dirt cheap.
If I can't buy dirt, is there any point in me being rich?
Having been bit by the terraforming bug, he overhauls the exterior of his base, blending it with the landscape and turning that perimeter hexagon into a moat.
Oh, that actually looks quite cool. That actually looks cool. It actually looks cool.
Below the surface, he hollows out more space where the IBI used to be and considers that he may have overestimated his storage system. But a nice trip to the shopping district throws him a curveball when he realises there isn't really a niche for him in retail anymore. All the shops he can currently conceive of already exist, so he goes back to the drawing board. And by the drawing board, we mean more terraforming. Etho, on the other hand, is determined to carve a niche for himself in the shadiest of ways. With his Wither Skeleton farm pumping out beacon supplies at exceptional rates, he chooses to undercut the competition by setting up a new shop above them in the sky. Named Sneaky Ease, it's built entirely out of shulker boxes which don't render in at ground level, so to visit the shop, you have to know it's there. It's also a nifty way of avoiding road taxes.
If a shop exists on the server, and Mayor Scar can't find it, can it really be taxed?
So after turning retail on its head, it's perhaps no surprise that he leaves his base to find an invitation to the Upside Down.
Join the Upside Down. Maybe building our Enigmatica 2 house over there, and trying to build that upside down and changing out the block pellet to make it nether themed.
Below the surface, to the north, TFC returns to the server and to his branch mine, which deserves a bit of a spit and polish after gathering dust for the last month or so. After rearranging the wooden beams and coating the floor in polished slabs, TFC installs a minecart track for convenient travel to the further reaches of his ever-expanding mining project.
But what can I say? It's been a busy day on the server.
Hypno chooses to break his stone from the top down, as his boardwalk build needs stone brick and the cliff is in the way anyway. He really just tears into the boardwalk island this week, taking out not just the unfortunate hill, but also a whole unfortunate forest, to make way for a seaside town in the making.
Oh my goodness, guys, we have done so much digging. You see all these shulker boxes in front of me right here? Almost all of these are completely 100% full.
If you want to unmake an island resort, look no further than Iskall 85. Having spent 4 days gathering diamond ore and ancient debris, he fortunes and smelts them into prizes for his Treasure Island minigame, which is split into 4 tiers.
The magenta one being the best, that's going to be the Omega. Lime green could be mega, light blue can be awesome, and white, which would be the worst rarity, we'll just call it Kurt.
And then enlists the help of a pirate to bury them. To unbury them, he provides the players with half-broken gold shovels and allows them to buy clues in case they're all at sea. With gold on the brain at this point, he rearranges his nether ceiling base to get rid of rotten flesh and provide an easy crafting station for gold ingots. And it's a good thing he does, because by the time he's finished, the gold shovels have all sold out.
Anyway... I imagine myself looking like Keralis right now.
Some of them were impulse buys, by which of course we mean Impulse SV, who has been tinkering with his own minigame, Disarmored, to make it slightly easier on the reflexes. The game now indicates where you should aim your crossbow before the armor stands jump out, and auto-mends the crossbow after each round thanks to some bottles of enchanting.
I need to get more, of course, but I just want to test this out.
Better hope players are excited enough by this sideshow prizes that they'll spend as many diamonds as he spent digging on Iskall's treasure island, but at least he got a couple of netherite ingots out of it.
You guys have been making fun of me for a while. I've still been sporting the diamond pants. Awesome!
He also discovers Sneaky Ease, but the limited beacon stock there doesn't seem like much of a threat to his own business, and the Pigstep disc gives him something to listen to while working on the chicken and vine farms at his base. Stress Monster also has a few tries at digging for glory and riches, with a break halfway through to adopt a new superhero persona and return Mumbo's original supersuit. Stress has possibly the most successful run at Treasure Island after some clever detective work, but that may have got her a taste for netherite, so she joins forces with Joe Hills and Zombie Cleo in their efforts to win the Hedge Games jackpot.
We need a new team name.
Okay, Stress, go for it. I want to see your linguistic mastery at work.
That is too much pressure.
Joe's mostly in it for the gold, having no interest in netherite and an active objection to diamonds. But he delivers some gold of his own when he finally reveals to Zombie Cleo that he's been expanding her armor stand storage for a while now.
So I extended the box back one, and then I put in some hoppers, and then I added some more chests, and then I added some more hoppers.
So this was all you, was it?
Yeah, this is my improvement.
No, Joe, no.
No, Joe.
It's okay, Cleo. I'll get you the rest.
Okay, well, what this tells me is I need to figure out how to store 6 million armor stands.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Back at the Strait of Gibraltar, he rotates his nether portal for a better view of his own projects, and puts in a skylight to his underground base in case the cave spiders are lacking in vitamin D. To combat Joe's antics, Cleo starts siphoning the structure materials out with a lengthy and convoluted hopper chain, which works out well enough, if not very hasty. She can at least rest assured that the next breaking of Joe's ankles will not be done alone, as the clump of human goo in the cloning jar has by now formed into something resembling a tadpole, and with enough time and limbs, it might prove a powerful ally.
We've made life. I'm not sure what life we've created yet. It's a little bit of too early stages to tell, but let it be known that Zombie Cleo has created life from goop.
Jevin adds some legs reaching into the soup of the world to his mega-based discus, granting it proper support and solid shake protection. But for now, his attention is more preoccupied with the Enderman farm from back in the day and how it could be made better for the benefit of hermit kind. But never mind that, there's Iskall's treasure to be hunted and Cubfan's castle defense game to playtest, which they do with XP Crafted, Vintage Beef, and Hypno. XP even invites Cub to his own archery-powered minigame Block, and inspired, Cubfan returns to the pyramid with a whole new idea to add a flying slime block machine to the targets for a game with a name just as eloquent, Pong.
Flying machine flies back to the center, and then once we hear the chime, we can start shooting. There we go. So let's start shooting, and then we send it back over there. Let's go in the right direction. That's the way we want it to go, because this is our scoreboard right here. And we score again. There we go. Perfect.
Wells Knight, in the meantime, follows it up with a healthy round of golf over at ZF's, and it sure helps to relax at the course after a long day of burying a mob grinder in your backyard.
And we've got kind of a collection area over here all done. And I let the farm run for a couple of hours, and it's okay.
On that note, Vintage Beef decides to give Corrales' workforce some help, which arrives in a white van with Llama Dad branding, linked directly to a nearby zombie spawner. These workers might still be a little green, but at least they come with their own hard hats, tools, and a relentless work ethic.
I better get out of here before this place gets absolutely flooded.
After adding some more glow-in-the-dark signage to his cyberpunk town buildings, Beef celebrates his birthday in a not-so-bouncy castle, courtesy of Cubfan and the boys, meets up with Etho for a whistle-stop tour of the minigaming district, and goes digging on Treasure Island. He comes away empty-handed, but older and possibly wiser.
This game, I hate it.
It wasn't XP Crafted's birthday as far as we know, but he played all the minigames anyway, also breaking several shovels over at Treasure Island. But when that brought little in the way of reward, he opted for the much more rewarding activity of planning out a proper design for the nether tunnel to his base, complete with a one-way honey block elevator.
And there we go. Zert. Oh, now see, that's cool. And then you kind of just slowly descend, right? Oh, that's nice. I like that.
More stuff to try out, especially if you are any good with a bow, comes to the actual minigaming area, where Zuma builds a competitive accuracy trial called U13, after the number of targets on the board for the two teams to hit.
And also, it would be a number low enough that we can actually use a comparator to add up that entire score. So we could have a redstone lamp system that lights up based on how many points each team has.
The call of logistics isn't lost on him either. Once Mayor Scar has put a bounty on every road in the commercial district, X made sure that the chunk with his businesses goes to him. and he might just be getting that grant money, now that the theme he went for is exactly one Scar himself never got to capitalise on last season, the Moonbase Alpha idea. With greys and rocks of any kind, Zuma transforms the part he was entrusted with into a rocky representation of the Earth's moon.
In the planning of Season 6 of Hermitcraft, Scar shared with us an idea to create a Moonbase Alpha, which would be a moon biome with a whole bunch of rockets and spacey stuff in it, right? And ever since, I've absolutely loved that idea, but we never actually did that season. And so the idea of having a moon biome is really interesting, I think.
False Symmetry is not too far behind. She's actually kind of to the side of him, at the yellow segment where her own shop is. Fittingly, her part of the island is remade to resemble the newer nether terrain, with a bit of flavour where the blackstone gates and roads weave between the hills and establishments. No such luxury is necessary for her own base, the future punk build at bedrock level. In fact, the denizens will have a hard time getting out now. False has submerged the bedrock level at the very bottom.
This is what I had envisioned from the very beginning. As soon as I wanted bedrock, I wanted water as well. Now, we aren't quite finished. Of course, I said we need level 2 and 3 because if I land in this, it is only 1 block tall.
The construction work doesn't seem to bother Tango Tech. Under the commercial district, he is still brain and regular storming through his Decked Out project, and deck it out he does. More and more detail pops up in the intricate dungeon, this time even with some armor stand pose decorations.
Nailed it! Look at our little Stride Zuma. Okay, this is absolutely driving me nuts. Zuma's head has changed from Stride Zuma to B Zuma and back and forth like 17 times. It happened in a stream, it flopped like 3 times while I was streaming. I don't know what to do. I just want the Strider face.
Then again, he might be causing just as much noise now that the clunk system is in place, so the visitors and raiders will clunk it up for years to come, granted they stay alive long enough.
The light is at the end of the tunnel, and I'm feeling it. I am ready. This is... Oh. Are you ready, Iskall?
Unfortunately, the mayor himself is not there to see his plans come to life, since right after publicising them, he has backflipped into the nether. The locals greet him with very little respect for his mayoral station. They mostly just kill him, which you'd think would extend only to piglins and hoglins, but no. The Upside Down citizens already conspired to throw the poor guy for a loop, literally as they trap him in a death loop powered by a semi-automated respawn anchor.
He's in.
Okay.
We're on. The game is on.
Feeling that this is a trap, and I'm pretty sure it's a trap.
Oh, right. I will. Okay. I did it.
Wait, tell me again. Tell me what.
Oh, this can only be the work of the B and the G.
Sure, neither Grian nor Bdubs are getting any hospitality awards for this behaviour, but somebody has to adhere to the rule of pranking all the newcomers now that Mumbo pranked them back first.
100% volume.
Oops.
What just happened?
At least after all this hazing, Grian has provided the frat house for them all to live in, as long as they're okay with decorating the interior themselves, which is fine for Bdubs since he's getting his share of exterior building with the huge amount of progress he's made on his clifftop castle.
It actually starts to look like a nice flow, like it's a little more weathered and darker on the bottom, a little dirty, and then it slowly gradients into the stone, and even at the top, it's extra bright with the smooth stone. But let us leave the castle!
Scar seems to have forgiven Bdubs the death by Hoglin when they meet up later to discuss mayoral strategy, and Bdubs has some concerns about hanging diamonds from the trees, but at least Scar has had the taxation system locked down, but the mayor might be too forward-thinking if he's already trying to budget for Christmas.
Yeah, well, I mean, how else are we going to get the diamonds up on the town hall?
True. We have to fund our Christmas showcase. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is ZloyXP, and my name is PixelRiffs. If Mad Max starring Zloy sounds like something you'd be into, check out the skullpunk town he's building in the truly bedrock mesa, showing now in this week's End Screen Theatre. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.